Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? We're all doing very, very well. Now, apologies, this video was meant to come out yesterday, but family circumstances, as in my mum, Big Kilt Mama, chose to reconfigure her face by literally smacking herself face first into the deck of a dual carriageway. Yeah, clever that, clever. Broke her nose, blacked her eyes, saved her teeth though, and saved her wit. Looks like she's gone a few rounds with Ivan Drago, but she'll come back fighting again. Don't you worry about that. But it's kind of staggered everything, so I'm a bit behind the times now. Now, lately, as you guys know, I've been reporting a fair bit on Halloween Ends and other movies as well. Now, long-standing viewers know that, Kilt-Man, this goes against the grain. Yes, we know you're a massive avid lover of Michael Myers and the original Halloween and Halloween 2 and even Halloween 3, which I adore. But you've not been a big fan of Halloween 2018 or especially Halloween Kills. And you've been very disparaging about David Gordon Green and Blumhouse. Yes, I have. Yeah, I have. And I swore blind I would not join the hype wagon for Halloween Ends after being so horribly burned by Halloween Kills. Yeah, I love the kills in Halloween Kills, but I can't stand the movie itself. And as I've always said, Green cannot direct horror, and he cannot garner suspense or tension out of any situation at all. But I do love the fact that Michael Myers is back on the big screen, and I do love the fact that he's still going. I don't like the way they've done it. There's so much I don't like. But against my better judgments, I have become swept up with the whole cavalcade of Halloween Ends and the excitement and anticipation, the spoilers, the rumours. Yeah, and I'm on board. I fully, totally concede I am on board now for Halloween Ends, and I can't wait to see it. And I really do hope it's going to be great. I want it to be successful. I want it to be a great movie. I want it to make me reappreciate Halloween Kills and Halloween 2018. Because it could be a great capper, and it can redress the balance. It might work. And if it doesn't, it might still be a great film in its own right and bring some kind of conclusion to the whole shape Michael Myers, enigma in a satisfactory manner. I hope so, I pray so. Now, with all that being said, yeah, a load of stuff came out yesterday, which I meant to report on, but I was in a hospital. Not Haddonfield Memorial, although we were walking down the corridors, me and my wife, Mrs. Kilt-Man, and I said, take a picture of us. I'll be stalking down the corridor. You can't do that. You can't. There's cameras everywhere. I said, well, you get your camera out, take a picture of me. Screw those cameras. I want to be Michael Myers walking down the hall. She said, no, we can't do that. It's wrong. Damn it. Where's all the fun gone in the world, Anyway, so we now know that the trailer for Halloween Ends is about to drop on the 20th. Jamie Lee Curtis herself, one of the greatest scream queens the world's ever known, she tweeted it that it's going to come out on the 20th. Okay, we all thought it was going to be in front of Nope, but everyone who got Nope in the cinemas, and everyone was asking, have you got the trailer for Halloween Ends? And the reply came back, nope, we have not. So, we've got to wait a little bit longer. That's okay, don't mind that. Now we know it's a minute and 16 seconds long. I did report on this before, and I can't remember now what the actual time duration is, but it can show a fair bit in that. It's more of a teaser than a full trailer, I think. But hopefully we're going to get to see some action and get some semblance of what's going to happen. Some of the sense of momentum and the stakes and who's playing, who are the players in this. Because obviously it's Alison. Karen, her mother, got killed at the end of Halloween Kills. Karen is Laurie Strode's daughter. Alison is the granddaughter. You know all this anyway. So the trailer drops on the 20th. Okay, I will report on that, obviously. Now, other news is that the film was test screened. Yeah, test screened in 2 different locations. One of them was New Jersey, and one of them was somewhere else. And they showed 2 different cuts. The New Jersey Brigade got 1 cut, and the wherever else got a different cut. Now, the two different cuts had two different reactions. One of them somewhere got like people jumping, screaming, cheering, laughing, and really enjoyed it and said it worked. And the other cut proved to be more divisive. Now, that goes in keeping with what they've been saying all along, that this film itself is going to be, it's going to piss some people off. It might piss a lot of people off, actually, because we're going to be different. We're breaking the mold. This is not what you expect. And we fully accept that it's going to annoy a lot of people. The fans, you know, could be really pissed off with this. I keep saying that because they kept on saying that. Pretty much everybody involved with it has said that. And most intriguingly of all, Chris Nelson, who devised, you know, the Halloween 2018 mask and then its evolution to the Halloween Kills mask, all taken from the original mask from 1978. He himself said, you know, it's going to piss a lot of people off, and this film is very different. He's the guy that creates the mask. What's his real insight into it? So obviously, with him saying that, and then we got the imagery from One's custom figures, which I reported on. I think I was one of the first actually on YouTube to say that that's not actually from the movie. That's actually a publicity still of a figure, an action figure, a customized action figure for Michael Myers with a concept look of the hobo. Said all this. Now, the thing about that is, I still think that could be in there. We know certain other Halloween supporters and fans across YouTube and other, you know, platforms have been privy to imagery of the mask from this movie, and they've said that it is the same mask as in Halloween Kills. So it's still burnt, it's a bit more dishevelled, a bit more mud and blood on it, but it looks a bit older. There's a 4-year gap, remember, between this and Halloween Kills, so age has obviously played a part. But I still firmly believe you're going to get at least two different looks. You're going to get the dishevelled mask from Halloween Kills, and you might even get like him wearing a hood and his face on show, or at least part of his face on show. The working title, of course, is Cave Dweller. So I know I've discussed this before, and you guys who are massively avidly into Halloween ends and, well, the whole Halloween franchise really know this stuff as well. So we're just regurgitating things we've already said in lieu of any more actual, you know, solid details. You know, no spoilers here. And I'm the same as you guys. Like, have looked for a few. I have, and I've found a few, but they're not. I don't think they're real, and I'm sure you've been the same. And you shouldn't do it. And I swore blind I would not do it with this one. I wanted to go in blind, literally go in blind to watch this and be wowed by, hopefully wowed by something new, fresh and exciting. But, no, I've gone back into my old sort of teenage days and like, oh, they're excited by this. Oh, God, can't wait. What's he going to do? Does he die in the first 15 minutes? Or in some versions of the rumour, the first half hour? And then the rest is told by somebody else now, and how his influence has affected somebody else in Haddonfield. Well, we do know that is actually possibly partly true. There is another threat in Haddonfield. I mean, they're kind of obtuse about this, kind of broad strokes. There's another threat. We now know that there's a flashback sequence to 2018, whatever it is. Halloween Kills, which of course is the same bloody night as Halloween 2018. Now, to introduce a new character, and everyone's saying that new character is, I think his name's Corey, and he's meant to be the new boyfriend for Alison, and he's going to play quite a major role in this movie. And people are speculating that he's going to become influenced by Michael Myers, the spirit that inhabits Michael Myers' body, which then moves across to another body. Once that body's completely gone and used up, you find somebody else. Before I go any further on that, let's recap on why that gets mentioned. In the original novelisation of Halloween 1978, it was the prologue told a story 2,000 years ago in Ireland, a druidic cult and a guy goes completely ballistic because he loves this girl in the village, but this girl goes and marries someone else. So he then goes completely crazy, and on their wedding night, he destroys them, he slaughters them. In their rage, all the village people, I don't mean the band from the 70s. that would be a great prologue though, wouldn't it? The village people, YMCA coming on, like, they grab this guy, beat him, burn him, trash him, and rip him limb from limb. And the druids curse him to reenact his crime forevermore and have every evil visited upon his body forevermore. So in other words, he can't die, but he's going to suffer every pain going, but he'll relive the crime forevermore. Bit of a shitbag for anyone that's in his path, because all they've done in their vengeance, to curse him, they've created a monster that's going to pass from generation to generation, killing other people and causing more and more misery like they've gone through. So, not a good idea, but then again, it fits, and I like that. Now, the whole Halloween 5 and 6, the whole Thorn cult thing, they sort of addressed that. Well, referenced the druidic cult and the fact that he's more than just, a one-off random serial killer. There's more method to it, and there's a whole cult surrounding him. And you had Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which I love, as you know, and I've reviewed it many times and discussed it many times. And everyone's saying, well, the silver shamrock masks, the witch, the skull, the pumpkin, are all in Halloween 2018. They're also in Halloween Kills. And I would wager that they're going to be in Halloween Ends as well. I'm going to come on to that. But this whole druidic angle about the spirit inhabiting a body and it perhaps moving on to somebody else, yeah, I think they're going to bring that in. I think that is going to be an element here. So, what do we know? One test screening was divisive. One test screening pleased everybody, seemingly. It's not scientific, because, you'd have to show the two different versions to the two different audiences, and then show the two different versions to multiple audiences to get any kind of genuinely scientific, sort of conclusion as to which one is the better one. It's all subjective, it's you just can't do it. So, whichever version we're going to get, they're going to pick the one that got the most favourable, surely. But I'm intrigued by the divisive one more than anything else. But I still think whatever version we're going to get, it's going to be radically different to what people are expecting and wanting. We know this is not going to be Halloween Kills. It's not going to be Michael on full mode rampage. So, okay, what else do we know? So the hobo look is not the definite look. It won't be throughout the movie. Michael Myers, we now hear that rumour in dying in the first 15, maybe half an hour, isn't true. He's scattered throughout the movie. But that could also mean that a lot of it's flashbacks and stuff. But no, I think he's in there. And I think they're going to harken back to the original 1978 John Carpenter style of he's just a shape in the shadows. He's seen, he's glimpsed. A kill, he's off. But it could be anywhere. That's the majesty of John Carpenter's original Halloween. You don't have to see Michael Myers to fear him. He's around. With these new movies, he's fucking everywhere, and you see him. Yeah, I don't mind seeing him, but you see him way too often. And although he's more of a lumbering, kill-crazy monster, and nothing can stop him, there was more playfulness to the original John Carpenter version. Now he's just killing anybody and anything that gets in front of him. He'll be there. And it dilutes all the fear and tension, all the supernatural quality to how he could magically appear and disappear and arrive and move silently and catch up with people even though he's just walking. Isn't it funny, when they're not looking, or when the lights blink out, he's fucking sprinting, and they turn around again, he's right behind them. He's been in, so maybe the last 4 years between this and the last movie, he's been in training. He's been doing he's been sprinting between lampposts, then jogging between other lampposts and sprinting again. He's got his fucking pace up there, his stamina, he's great. Got off on a tangent there again, I always do this, don't I? So yeah, 4 years have elapsed. He's been living in the wild. I'm sure that is the case. You would not have that working title of Cave Dweller. Mob Rule being the working title for Halloween Kills. Totally brought in what happened. The Haddonfield militia arm themselves, off they go. Evil dies tonight. Oh, I will not say that again. Don't worry. We've had enough of that. And we saw how well that went down. But he's been living in a cave, living off the land, living in the wild, because he can't hold down a job. He can't be anywhere else, can he? He can't pose as somebody else. That would be radical if he could do that. And then suddenly some secret silent trigger or secret silent alarm triggers him, as Loomis says, waiting for that. And only on Halloween will he goes back to being the shape. I don't know. There's a lot to address in this because it's the other thing, the pandemic. All the makers said, yes, we're going to take into account the pandemic, COVID. But all the people who've seen either version of the movie, and they've been putting out little tantalising hints of what they saw, and people are asking them, the whole COVID thing, is that there? No, doesn't play a part. So why did they big this up then? Doesn't play a part. And then some people say like, oh, well, yeah, it's the aftermath of the pandemic. So it must be referenced somehow then. It's got to be, hasn't it? They wouldn't have said all this, if that wasn't going to be the case. And they may have thought, well, everyone's wearing masks. They may genuinely have thought, we've got to bring this in. It's such a huge element to the wild at the moment. Let's bring it in. It makes it more relevant. What it does as well, as you will appreciate, not only is it relevant to us right now, but in a few years' time, it'll just date this trilogy even more if they're going to bring that in. But I don't mind it. That's quite a nice concept to bring it in. The whole mask wearing thing, that everyone's wearing a mask, and he's been doing it, since 1978. The mask is important, folks. The mask does play a part. Now, I've said many times that the mask doesn't give him powers. It's not a silver shamrock mask. That's a lovely rumour, but it doesn't work out. There's too many plot holes in that he had the prototype one. No. But when he puts on the mask, he becomes a shape. That's him. That's the way he thinks, and it's part of his uniform. You're going to look at when the clown mask comes off when he's a little kid, and like, Michael? And he's just stood there like with the butcher knife, having killed Judith, and he's like, oh shit, the little kid goes into Smith's Grove and all that. Many one-sided conversations with Dr. Sam Loomis, of course, ensue. And then when those plebby little YouTube British journos arrive and they proffer the mask, and he's there, and he's chained up and all that, like in Halloween 2018. It's a great moment, to be honest. Only when the mask comes out and everybody else, all the other inmates are going ape shit. Why is that? That was a great moment, and they haven't maximised on that. Like that's a supernatural thing there as well. The aura, the power that Michael Myers has. How is it all these other inmates know that mask is power, as far as he's concerned? Because when he puts the mask on, that's when he's got his power back. The mask doesn't do it. He needs the mask for him to go on. That's my interpretation anyway. But I also believe the whole druid thing about the spirit inhabiting the body. But whatever, each new spirit inhabited body might need some other impetus to make it happen. Or not. That's the randomness of it. Anyway. But I love that sequence where the mask becomes important and he wants that mask back. So obviously Sartain, let's not go into all that. He gets the mask back and becomes the shape again. Hey, we live in old days. But he's got a new spring in his step now. And he's a bit fucking harder as well. Like, he can take out garage mechanics and all sorts. He can bust jaws and tear teeth out of people's mouths. He can do all sorts. And of course he can gouge eyes out and crush heads. He can do fucking everything. Like, he's amazing. So, the mask is important. Now, I know I'm going a bit random about this, but that's my modus operandi. Modus operandi. He's been living in the rough, and I think he's got the mask, and he's not going to wear it for 4 years. Are you? You're going to wear it for 4 fucking years. So it's got to be hidden somewhere, and he's just living off the land. But something will tick him off. Now, post COVID and post the massacres in Haddonfield, Haddonfield itself is a ghost town. It's a haunted place. But a new generation is there, like who've grown up, and like Michael Myers. People celebrate serial killers. Look at us. We're celebrating Michael Myers. Oh, but Kilt-Man, he's just fiction, you know. But people love like Jeffrey Dahmer, Charles Manson, Jack the Ripper. People celebrate these things, you know, and even sadly, people that go into high schools and kill kids somehow or other reach a level of celebrity and infamy, which other people take on board and possibly in some cases even idolise. And I'm not making it up, it happens, sadly it happens. Now, who's to say that because the events in Haddonfield are horror, even though it's in the reality of the story, it's real life. He butchered so-and-so and so-and-so. Everyone in Haddonfield must have someone who's related to someone who died or was killed, you know, especially after Halloween Kills, he killed almost everybody, you know. But the kids are going to maybe wear masks, and that could be a huge divisive thing, you know, almost like V for Vendetta, yeah, or the Joker. Everyone starts wearing Joker masks or painting their faces like the Joker. It becomes a cult. People start wearing Michael Myers masks. Where are they getting the Michael Myers masks from? Well, how about this? You've had silver shamrock masks in Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. How about having that? They all know, the makers of this movie know that rumours have been rife since 2018 about the involvement of Silver Shamrock. Is Michael wearing a prototype mask? Is that why he's a killer? Was that a different version of what it was meant to do? Oh my God. I reckon, and if they haven't done it, they're missing out. A little Easter egg, a little nice sort of, you know, here's a little breadcrumb trail for you, but by the way, it's going nowhere. That the manufacturer of the masks that they're all wearing now in Haddonfield, all the kids are wearing, which is pissing off all the people who've lost relatives to Michael Myers and are just traumatized by his reign of terror, and they hate these kids. So you've got like animosity in the town, and you've got these sort of not a cult really, but just like gangs of delinquents wearing these masks, maybe robbing shops and stuff and vandalising cars, that sort of thing, but wearing Michael Myers masks. That the company that makes them, that seized on this post-pandemic, you know, like, oh, we can sell this famous killer. Because 4 years have passed, and he's had a night in 1978 and then 2018 where he's killed fucking dozens of people now. That after 4 years, that's going to be huge news. That'll be a known thing. There'll probably be guided tours. Here's the old Myers house. Here's where Laurie Strode used to live. Here's blah 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 blah. You know, all this kind of stuff. Like there's the hospital now. God, you know, you're gonna have all that. You'd have tourism, you know, to this place, because ghouls would like to go and see it, wouldn't they? Witness the locations where the events transpired. So you've got these kids wearing it, but who'd make those masks? The company would be Silver Shamrock. But I think a nice thing would be, yeah, you'd see adverts for Silver Shamrock. I don't mean like 2 more days to Halloween, or maybe you do. That can still work. Doesn't mean they're going to explode into a shower of snakes and spiders and bugs and locusts, and kids' brains and skulls are going to get mashed up. No, but you might. That'd be great. I've just thought of that bit actually. You could actually have that advert, and that's a nice hark back. And I've not heard if that's in there. I'm sure someone would have leaked that if that was the case. But isn't that missing a trick or a treat? You could have Silver Shamrock would be the ones who are making the masks that kids are wearing, and that's how Michael Myers gets, because his mask would be fucked. You could get a brand new one, you know, by killing it. He returns to Haddonfield, and everyone's looking like him. Imagine that. You'd be like, hang on a minute. This is my gig. Who the fuck do you think you are? Give me that. Oh, come back here. There you go. Fits just as nice as the original one does. I'm Captain Kirk again, in white negative. But it'd be a nice little trick though, wouldn't it? because you've got Silver Shamrock will be brought in. They brought it in the first two movies of this new cycle. They're going to have to finish that off, but don't make it as being the big thing. I would be disappointed if that was the case. But you know what it would do, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if they did continue with their Silver Shamrock Halloween 3 homage, that it'd be paving the way to Blumhouse doing a Halloween 3 Season of the Witch reboot. I think that could be on the cards. We already know they're trying to do the thing. They're trying to do the thing. And I've already spoke about that, and I will speak again about their ideas or potential ideas for a Thing reboot, revisit, remake, whatever. I'll talk about that some other time. I've got a few ideas about that. But Silver Shamrock should be in this, and it would be a nice little sort of new trick to play. So you've got masks in there, you've got the pandemic in there, albeit referenced sort of in retrospect. And then you've got this whole new threat element, which everyone's saying the spirit goes into Corey, who is Alison's new fella. And you might see his personality change throughout the movie. So you get more of a slow burn sort of movie. And people are saying that Michael only appears, he's scattered. The quote is, he's scattered throughout the film. Well, in the original movie, he's scattered throughout the movie. It's mainly about the babysitters, and he is there. And you've got Sam Loomis doggedly trying to track him down, trying to make Sheriff, Brackett believe what's happening. Evil has come to your little town, Sheriff, and which is just fantastic. They never recreated anything like that. The tension and the chemistry and the pure suspense and the build-up of Halloween, the first one. And I know you can't really do that now because we all know and we all have our own ideas of what Michael Myers is and what he should be doing next, as in killing everybody around him. So you've had this is why you can only run this into the ground. It can't go any further unless you give some kind of conclusion, wrap up, why he's doing what he's doing and how is it a spirit and the spirit passes on, which could be dealt with in a satisfactory manner. That would still work. Don't try and explain it all and because nobody wants that. You might think you do, but if you've got some kind of cockamamie reason why it's all happening and it's spelled out for you, that is not in the spirit of John Carpenter, who likes to have ambiguous endings where you make up your own minds about things, and B, it'll never live up to what your imagination could do, and it will inevitably downgrade everything you've seen before. It will permeate everything else, and it will not be the conclusion that you want. So it's all well and good saying, they believe it's an evil spirit infesting him. Oh my God, Laurie's last breath. Alison, it's in Corey. It's in Corey. Alison been going, what? And Corey's in the background putting the mask on. Whatever. There's ways of doing it, but you don't have to spell it all out. You don't see an evil, demonic spirit leave the smouldering remains of Michael Myers, and drift up and then go quick and float into Corey's yawning in the background. And then suddenly, the blackest eyes. The devil's eyes. There's a lot you can play with. So you can see why, not just myself, but many people who are fascinated by this franchise are trying to work out their own versions of what's going to happen here. And it only works for the makers of the movie, because we're all going to be there. Now, come hell or high water, whether we love it or loathe it, whichever version they put out, they're going to make a lot of money from this. A lot of money. They'll please some people, they won't please everybody. I just hope they please enough of us, because they owe it to us. For me personally, I've been disappointed by this run of movies. I don't think he's done it justice. I think they boxed themselves into a corner. And part of me, the reason why I'm looking forward to this movie, I want to see exactly how they dig themselves out of this hole they've made. Because make no mistakes, they put themselves into a corner. They've boxed themselves in, and shit, we've said this is going to be different, it's going to be radical. But it better fucking be. going back to reshoots, and everyone's kicking off about reshoots. No, he's worried about that. Everyone's kicking off about that. We put 2 different versions out. The very fact that they're test screening this and people are waiting on responses. Most films get test screened. Almost big movies get test screened. But you don't hear about it. You don't hear about the reshoots either. And tweaking this, tweaking that, editing that, putting a new bit in there, going back to put a few extra shots in, just to make the film run smoother. Pretty much every film will go through that. But because of this and the sort of stampede and euphoria behind it, not euphoria, furore, it's a better word. The furore behind this, because everyone's like, oh, what's going to happen? And you've got the haters, you've got the lovers, and no one seems to be in the middle. I'd put myself in the middle, but everyone makes up their own minds. Oh, you're like Halloween Kills, then you're a hater. No, I love Michael Myers. I don't like the film Halloween Kills. I think it's piss poor. But I do love the fact that Michael Myers is still prowling around and killing people. Hey, I love that. Because I'm a man of the people. I just hate the people in Haddonfield. Kill them all, Michael. Kill them all. There's still some left. Go back. Finish that job. No, I do want this to work. And I think being very positive and being optimistic, I think it really could be great. Because they're trying to do something different. I hope to God that they are keeping to the word, and this will be spectacularly different with Stalk and Slash. And if you do kill Michael Myers in the first 15 minutes, you really, really better come up with something which is going to keep people glued to their seats, because that will piss a lot of people off. It will. Mikey's the main selling point. It ain't Laurie. And it sure as fuck isn't Alison or any of the other Haddonfield bloody knobheads. It's Mikey boy. And whether you see him just scattered throughout, you want enough character for the victims, the protagonists, to carry you through set pieces and scenarios and build up, and Michael is still around. So long as you know he's there, that threat is there. The thing about having other masks, it's been done before. Halloween 4 had a great sequence where Loomis and oh god, I forgot the name, the girl who's in it now, Christ, and they get out the car and suddenly there's Michael Myers, and then there's Michael Myers, and then there's Michael Myers. I saw that film at the Flicks when it first came out, and my god, I've been so looking forward to it, and that moment I was like, what? For a split, because then you realise, but a split second you were like, what's happening here? Oh, and my heart stopped just then, because I remember how I felt watching it. And then, it's clearly imposters, damn it. But it was a clever little move. Halloween 2, Ben Tramer is wearing that bleach blonde version of that mask. And it's great. Poor dickhead. This is why you shouldn't wear a mask when walking on the main road, because your peripheral vision's gone, and he just walks out there, gets hit by a fucking police car, and slammed into a truck, flambéed, So there's your first actual Michael Myers burnt mask, and then he got it burnt completely at the end of Halloween 2 with the big hospital inferno. But so other people wearing the Michael Myers mask in a Michael Myers movie has happened before. So I do think that would be a great, cool moment, and it would be a reflection on V for Vendetta, and probably in their minds more it would be the Joker, because that sparked sort of like a counter culture movement in the film, and the amount of people that love Joker is just the Joaquin Phoenix version is unbelievable, and it did seem to spark something sort of revolutionary sort of nature. I know I've seen it. I know people who are totally enamored with it, to the point where they will, if they could, possibly overthrow governments and change the world for shits and giggles, and squirty flowers and big red noses and great big yellow shoes. But yeah, so Halloween ends. Trailer drops the 20th of July, so it's in a few days' time. I will report back. I really do hope, and I do think you'll see a different look of Michael Myers in the movie still, even though it's getting refuted left, right and centre. I think maybe in a montage of what he's been doing for 4 years or whatever, you'll see a different look. You see him walking out with a hood on, whatever. Or just even it's just like an animatic shot of him sitting in a cave with a fire burning in front of him. Well, not going to wear his fucking mask, is he? You know, he's not going to do it. You're going to wear a mask for 4 years. So you're going to see James Dew Courtney. We already know that you do, because everyone said that. You'll see more of James Dew Courtney's face. So, folks, there you go. I'm sure there's some other plot points which I'd heard about and ideas that I'd had which I'd missed off. But that's enough to go on for now. The test screenings, one's divisive, but wasn't bad by all accounts. Wasn't bad. It just, some people liked it more than other people did. And the other test screening went down really, really well. So that only bodes well, I would have thought. But who can tell? I don't want to go there. That you know what I'll do? I'll do it like I did last year. And for Halloween 2018, I marched on down to the cinema in the full regalia. Sat there, Halloween Kills, I did videos in the cinema. Not of the film, I wasn't doing that. I met this girl there that we went back to the pub and we discussed the film afterwards. And then I did a full review of it, and I went off the film massively. But I'll end up doing the same again this time around. I'll be dressed as Mikey Myers. Although I might have a few Season of the Witch masks, you know, tucked away as well, just in case. I come prepared for every eventuality. I'll have a hood as well, just in case. Folks, I have been on with Shabby Kilt-Man. Please keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic. And just be yourselves. And I'm going to see you all. Come on, Mikey boy. Make this your big moment. The big payoff. At noon.